Here's the second video for Dr. Langer. Real quick, we're talking about images on your site. You want to go through, once you get the back end login information of your WordPress site, you can right click on these and save image as, rename them as your keywords being that have to do with South Austin, with Manchac, with iCare South Austin, iCare South Manchac, eyewear, anything that you think that your customers will type into that will also let Google know that it's what type of business you are and the area that you are the authority in. So it starts to paint the picture for Google that you are the authority for South Austin, for Kyle, for Buda, for Shady Hollow, any of the neighborhoods around here that you really want to saturate, but that will keep you a little bit from having to go head-to-head with the other doctors who are all in Austin. And that will definitely help your rankings for when people are in this location. You will pop up more in the maps than somebody who just is advertising Austin and keywords for Austin and going with much heavier competition. You can go through your site and go through all of your images, even images like this, and rename them your keywords. But you will find that some images, like this one on the carousel, you won't be able to save as an image. You can save like the link. Those you'll have to go into the back end in your WordPress site and go into your media files and rename them there. If you don't know how to do that, you can leave those as is and just do it through these. But it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to have to go through your media anyway on your pages and just click and either remove the photos or replace them and then upload the new photos. So pretty simple. The next thing are your Google My Business page. The same thing with the images. This is your site that pops up on Google Maps, so you have some information here. And notice you have 9 photos here. These photos, same thing. You want to go into your Google My Business page, which I'm going to show you in a second, and rename all those. But one thing that you do need is, once again, you've got 9 photos here. Let me show you what one of my clients on their Google My Business page, this is the back end. And notice they have 36 photos here. When you go into edit this, you're going to have, I think, 5 places to put photos. Okay, interior photos, which are the interior of your office and store. Exterior photos, the outside of your building, the whole little shopping area there. Photos at work, just pretty self-explanatory. Team photos and additional photos. And what you want to do is you want to have at least 10 in each one of these. So you're going to have a total of at least 50 pictures. And the majority of them should be unique. So just snap them with your cell phone. They don't have to be perfect. Just quantity is better. Just start snapping photos. And then if you want to put a few stock photos in there, that's great. Now we have a lot of stock photos in this, but that's not as good. The good thing is that each one of these is renamed with a keyword that relates to this business. So to make this a little bit better, these could almost all of these could be unique. But you notice we don't have any for interior photos or exterior photos because this particular company doesn't have a brick and mortar location. They are only going out on site. They don't list their address with their business, and they don't see clients at their business. They see them on site. But we have more photos here than most other companies. So let's look at the last thing are Facebook ads. So when you go into Facebook ads, there's a couple things I want to show you because I know you're doing them. This is really going to help. Go into your create ads, and the first thing you see, you're going to have a choice of the different types of ads you can run. And I'm going to start over. So you're going to have a choice here: awareness, consideration, conversion. Get people to claim your offer. That's a really great one for sales and things like that. But my recommendation is to start out with boost your posts. Just know that when you do get people to claim your offer, things like that, that you're directly advertising a sale. A lot of times people will just go over that if they're not in the buying mode. Whereas a post, they're more likely to click on it and read it. And even though it may be an ad, you still have a better chance depending on your headline and things like that. But let's just do this because there's a couple things I want to show you really quickly. Boost your post. They're going to have a name here. I know you've already done this. You've done it right now. Running ads right now, your custom audience. But let's look at this. Everyone in this location. So when there's going to be two types of ads you're going to run off of this, in my suggestion. The first one is probably the type of ad you're running now, where you're putting in your address, your store address, and then you did a radius around that. Probably, I think you said 3 miles. I think that's fantastic. You can leave the United States, but really I would erase it, and let's just do my address just for demonstration purposes, because I want to show you a couple of things here. Now, it gives you the option. Obviously, you know this already. You went 3 miles. That is fantastic. Oops. Let's do 3. My mouse is not cooperating. Alright. So we do 3 and we're hitting these. Now, obviously, we want to get your demographics, the age of your most likely customers that you think will be in there, and you know that better than I do. But what we want to look at are the locations here. For this type of ad, if you're using your store address, you definitely want to do everyone in this location, which includes people who live in this location, people recently at this location. So people are driving by or might work in the area. Hey, they're in the area. Let's shoot them an ad. That way, you're getting more people for this. But the second type of ad, you might want to do it to where you're just doing people recently in this location, and I'll show why in a minute. But people traveling this location, you will not use that ever for your particular business. That's for people who live 125 miles away. They're basically tourists. So all of these demographics, I'm assuming you know what those are. At least you're testing it. But let's look at some of the other things on here. So connection type, these you can pretty much go through. And the thing I want to point out are the placements. This is probably the first thing where most people make their mistakes. Automatic placements recommended. Well, it's recommended because they know they're going to get more money from people by just going with the recommended than if you were to do it, you know what you're doing. So you don't ever want to do recommended. Edit placements. We want to be able to take out a couple things. What do we want to take out? Instagram. You definitely do not want Instagram. You will lose money. It's a different algorithm, a different type of system, and you almost have to run ads separately on Instagram or do an ad solely for Instagram and then know what you're doing and basically to make your ad work, to make your ROI better. Now, I'm not Instagram expert, so I don't claim that. I'm pretty good at Facebook, but I'm learning all the time. But if you do ever want to run things on Instagram, do it separately. The other thing is the Facebook is probably the second place you might be making a mistake, and that happens to be with the right column. Never do the right column. Take that out of there. People don't click on it. It's a waste of money. Okay, and there's tons and tons of data on that. Despite what Facebook will tell you, don't include it. Take it out of there. You'll get a better return for your investment. So your feeds, mobile and desktop, keep those. You definitely want both, mobile and desktop. In the audience network, I almost never really see this anyway as being eligible. So if it is, and you have a question about it, give me a call, and I'll take a look at it for that specific ad. But that is the areas that are going to help your Facebook ads. And then, of course, your daily budget, whatever you do, whatever you set it at in the beginning, keep it there. Don't change it. says it takes Facebook 48 to 72 hours to recalibrate to your ad, meaning it's figuring out the best times of when to show it. And if you change that, it's going to recalibrate all over. And while it's calibrating, it's spending your money to figure out what's working and what's not. As far as run my ad set continuously starting today, that's up to you. And I usually set a start and end date only because I've got multiple ads that I run at a time, and it helps me to keep track. But if you're just running a few ads or one ad, you can probably pause it, turn it on, turn it off whenever you want to. Pausing it does not affect the ad. It's when you start changing the budget. Automatic, let Facebook set the bid that helps you get the most engagements at the best price. Yeah, you can leave that. I usually leave that as well. You can get charged by impressions or post engagement. Once again, that's up to you. I would try both. Impressions really, hey, they just, they either saw or it was on their feed, and the engagements are they're charging you for actually being clicked. Now, when I do AdWords, I only get a cost per click. So that post engagement is really the equivalent of a cost per click. So, but just, once again, test that out. And the scheduling, you can run on a schedule. You think people are most likely to be looking at Facebook and be in the mood to click on your ads. Now, the second type of ad is kind of the ninja trick. This is where all the Facebook ads really pay off, and it takes a little bit of creativity. But a couple things I would suggest when we go in here. Notice, once again, we have an address. If you get an address of a business, let's say Starbucks, okay, pick a Starbucks near you. Maybe you want to pick the Starbucks over on I-35 or off Slaughter. Put that address in here and bring this down as tight as you can down the 1 mile around that address. Okay, the one on Slaughter is pretty good, and that's obviously not their address. That's my home address. But if you do Slaughter, chances are that people are going to frequent in Starbucks. But let's make it a different example. Let's say it's you want to select a different business, like a gym, like Orange Theory Fitness, and that's over off I-35. You can get the address. Now notice you'll include all the other businesses within 1 mile, but when you're doing your detailed targeting, you can add people who are interested in Orange Theory Fitness. Then when you have that here and you target people, what you'll do is target people who are recently in that location. So by getting your demographic of men and women between whatever age you want, or women or men, who on their Facebook they have selected that they like Orange Theory Fitness. You can even join that group as well. But when you're running ads, you don't have to. You can just select that as someone's interest, and in fact you can select Orange Theory Fitness at that location because they probably have a page specifically for that. Remember, this is for any business. Then when you run this ad, in the headline as a post, you can select, did you work out at Orange Theory today off of I-35? And question mark. Here's what you need to know. And then you can write a little post on, hey, once again, it's up to you how you write your post, but I would write like, I really enjoyed their workout, and I wanted, because it's such a hard workout, I wanted to reward other people who are going through what I'm going through. So I would like to give everyone who works out at Orange Theory Fitness who sees this, a free eye exam or a free second pair of glasses for anybody or any family member that needs glasses, because hey, let's face it, Orange Theory is hard. We all need a break. And so that's the real magic of being able to use all the different demographics of this. So the more you can get in the detailed targeting, and you can really gear your ad or your posts, hey, for women of this age who work out at Orange Theory Fitness, who were there today, or at least in the area. You're going to get smaller reach. Notice that there's, with this, I'm not even even making it smaller, but you probably only get a few hundred people a day, but you're going to get a highly targeted thing. And if I were scrolling through my Facebook ad and somebody said, and I saw a post that said, were you at the Starbucks slaughter today? You need to know ... and then they're going to click on it, or just put it into an interesting thing. And I think that in and of itself, and that's kind of the new thing I wanted to test with you. I've known all these tools, but I haven't yet put this together in a test for a brick and mortar business kind of like yours. So I was very interested. If you do something like this, let me know, and I'd love to help you, whether it's with the copy ad, the ad copy in the ad, or the headlines, or things like that. I think that will be a fantastic way to start targeting people who are in this area. Obviously, they live close, and you're going to be able to really get your bang for the buck of Facebook advertising, because it's highly targeted to them, and you're going to give them something really special. Give them something that make sure whatever you put in your ad for your special is there's a time constraint, so you have that urgency. Hey, get me back, call me in the next 24 to 48 hours and say you saw my ad, and I will set an appointment for you for XYZ. Whatever you special you have, whatever you can afford to give away. If it's a lost leader, in other words, something that costs you money, that you're losing money, but it's going to gain you more business later on, or it's something to where you would normally charge, for an eye exam, and you're going to do that for free. Let them know the value, but put a time limit on it, because you have to create an urgency, because people get deals every single day. But doing those things together are really going to make your Facebook ads super effective. Even though you're not hitting tons of people, and you may have to play with it a little while, but you're going to have to play with your ads a little bit anyway. But once you get it down, you'll be able to track it. And just make sure you have your call to action. Know what you want. Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to go on your website and fill out a form? Do you want them to text you their phone number? Because there's different text advertising you can do, and text marketing. But have that really clear, so that way you'll know and you can track it. And it's really, you don't have to necessarily track it on your Facebook, but you'll know that if your phone calls increase, and just tell, I forget her name, your receptionist or your assistant, just whoever calls in, just ask them how they heard about you. Then you'll know if the ad is working or not. And once again, if you're only spending $5 a day, $10 a day on your ad, and it's getting phone calls, and it's definitely working, you can ramp up what you spend. But once again, don't change your budget. If you want to increase this or decrease it, put it on pause. Duplicate the ad, just clone it, and then set a different budget and run that ad and keep the other one on pause. Otherwise, you'll have to recalibrate everything, and it'll take a long time. It will kind of screw this up. So anyway, I hope that helps you. I know that you have a web developer and all that. If in the future you need anything or any advertising help, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you soon to get my glasses. Thanks.